Thanks for joining us on the CBN News Channel. I'm Charlene Israel. The United States and China are trying to cool tensions on the Korean Peninsula. Military threats made by North Korea in recent weeks have rattled the international community. Now China has harsh words for Pyongyang as Washington warns of a proportional military response. Gary Lane has more.
The two major military powers are hoping to limit the possibility of military conflict on the Korean Peninsula. In a harsh warning to North Korea, China's new president said no country in Asia should be allowed to throw the region and even the whole world into chaos for selfish gain. And a number of leaders in Washington are also warning North Korea against acting militarily. Senator Lindsey Graham says, unlike in the past, this time South Korea would react with a proportional response.
If there were a South Korean naval vessel sunk this year, anytime soon, or shelling of a South Korean island by North Korea, I think the new president of South Korea would be compelled to act. I think the North Koreans are overplaying their hands.
Appearing on NBC's Meet the Press, former United Nations Ambassador Bill Richardson says the goal should not be just to calm North Korea down.
The goal has to be, how do we get North Korea back to the negotiating table on nuclear proliferation, on denuclearization?
Meanwhile, a possible conflict could escalate the suffering of the North Korean population. The tiny Christian community, perhaps as few as 100,000 in a nation of 25 million, are requesting prayer. They're possibly the most persecuted in the world. They're forced to live their lives as secret believers, and if discovered, they're sent to labor camps or killed for their faith. At least 30,000 are imprisoned. They and others around the world are praying for a peaceful resolution on the Korean Peninsula. Gary Lane, CBN News.
President Obama is awarding the Medal of Honor to an Army chaplain who served during the Korean War. Captain Emil Kaupon is credited with saving hundreds of soldiers. During a battle with communist forces in 1950, Kaupon stayed behind to help the wounded, even though he knew he would be captured. He was thrown into a prison camp with other Americans who say he forgave and blessed their Chinese captors. The Catholic chaplain died after 7 months in the camp. Those who were with him say as Kaupon lay dying, he said, quote, "Don't worry about me. I'm going to where I always wanted to go, and I'll say a prayer for all of you." The world is grieving with megachurch pastor Rick Warren and his family today, that after the famous evangelist's son took his own life. The family is grateful for the love and outpouring of prayers and support during this difficult time. Pastor Rick Warren gave thanks for the support he and his wife Kay have received following the suicide of their 27-year-old son. Warren tweeted to his nearly 1 million followers, "Kay and I are overwhelmed by your love, prayers, and kind words. You are all encouraging our broken hearts." Matthew Warren took his life at his Mission Viejo home in what his family says was a momentary wave of despair. In a heartbreaking memo to his 20,000-member Saddleback Church, the author of the best-selling Purpose-Driven Life said his son ended his life after a lifelong battle with mental illness. Church members remember Matthew